The forest of Rethkar was never silent. It was a place where the trees breathed, where mist shimmered like restless ghosts, and where even the wind carried secrets. Humans weren't supposed to wander this deep, not unless they were foolish or desperate. Elias Hale was a bit of both. His survey drone had crashed somewhere beyond the ridge, and the corporation he worked for didn't exactly provide rescue teams for equipment failures. If employees wanted their bonuses, they found their drones themselves. So Elias hiked, for hours, through vines that moved like serpents and trees that glowed faintly in the twilight. He thought he was alone, until he heard the scream. It wasn't an animal call. Elias had spent 2 years learning local fauna sounds. This was different. Sharp, human-like, terrified. Then another scream cut through the humid air, higher, choked, and desperate. A child? Elias froze. His instincts screamed at him to turn around. Tribal aliens lived deep in Rethkar's interior. Isolated, ancient clans who despised off-worlders. Humans had learned quickly to avoid them. But that scream. He gripped his pulse knife and stepped toward the sound. Branches snapped beneath his boots. Faint drums echoed between the towering trees. Shadows flickered, and smoke drifted through the gaps in the canopy. He followed the screams until the forest opened into a massive clearing lit by torches. And there, at the center, tied over a stone fire pit, was a child. A little alien girl, no older than 8 in human years. Blue-skinned, thin, terrified beyond words. Her wrists were bound above her head, her small body shaking under the torchlight as tribal warriors chanted around her. Elias swallowed hard. She wasn't human, but she was alive, and she was begging for help. A tribal elder raised a flaming spear and shouted something guttural. The crowd roared back. The girl screamed again. Elias didn't remember making a plan. He only remembered moving. The impossible rescue. He rushed out of the tree line, yelling instinctively. Several warriors turned sharply, their bone masks glinting. A spear flew toward him. Elias ducked and rolled, heart hammering. His pulse knife flashed to life as he slashed at the nearest attacker. The tribe erupted into chaos. 2 warriors lunged at him. Elias sidestepped, adrenaline pumping. He wasn't a soldier. He'd only taken corporate-mandated survival training. But adrenaline made up for a lot. He reached the fire pit and sliced the girl's ropes with one clean motion. She fell into his arms, trembling violently. "Easy, easy," he whispered, lifting her. Her huge, amber eyes locked onto his. "Help. Got you." He sprinted toward the forest line, the girl clinging to him, tiny fingers gripping his shirt with surprising strength. A spear grazed his shoulder. Blood ran warm down his arm. He didn't stop. The warriors chased them, howling like beasts. "Hold on," Elias shouted. He ran harder than he ever had in his life. His lungs burned. Branches lashed at his face. The girl buried her face into his chest, shaking. Behind them, the rhythmic thud of tribal feet grew louder. Then the forest thinned, opening into marshland. Perfect. He splashed through waist-deep water, slipping and sliding. The tribal warriors hesitated at the marsh edge. They hated water. Religious taboo? Biological allergy? Elias didn't know, but he thanked every deity in the galaxy. Their shouts faded as he carried the girl deeper until the forest sounds swallowed everything else. It took 20 minutes for him to reach a safe outcropping of roots beneath a massive, glowing tree. Elias gently set her down. "You're safe now," he said, panting. She sniffled softly. "Why, you saved me." "What were they doing to you?" Her lip trembled. They said I was cursed." "Cursed?" She nodded, hugging her knees. born without clan marks. So they said, I bring bad luck. They wanted to burn it out. Elias felt his chest tighten. That's barbaric. They said off-worlders bring misfortune too, she murmured. So maybe we deserve each other. He blinked. Is that humor? Her eyes flickered up shyly. Trying. He smiled despite the situation. What's her name? He asked. Liri, she said quietly. You. Elias. She repeated it softly. Elias, like she was learning the shape of the word. Elias wrapped his jacket around her shoulders. She was shaking. Her skin was cold to the touch. We need to get you to a settlement, he said. You have family? She looked down. No. They gave me to the tribe when I was born. Said they didn't want a cursed daughter. Elias' heart sank. Then I'll take you somewhere safe, he said firmly. I promise. The journey, bonding through fear and hope. Carrying her slowed him, but Elias didn't care. Each step deeper into the glowing forest made him more aware of how fragile she was. She leaned against his chest, exhausted, occasionally murmuring half-conscious words. After an hour, the canopy darkened completely. Night had fallen. Liri tugged weakly on his sleeve. Elias, why? He glanced down. Why what? Why did you come? Her voice wavered. You could have run away. He didn't answer immediately. Finally, he said, because you screamed. Her breath hitched. No one ever came before. Well, he said softly, someone did this time. She looked at him like no one in her life had ever said something kind to her. The forest chorus grew louder, chirps, pulses, glowing insects swirling like drifting stars. Elias found a hollow beneath an enormous root structure and settled down with Liri curled beside him. She shivered. Elias hesitated, then placed an arm around her. Liri gasped softly, but didn't pull away. Instead, she nestled closer. You warm, she whispered. You're freezing. Silence passed between them before she spoke again, whisper thin. I don't know what happens next. I do, Elias said. You're getting a new start. With who? She asked. He looked at the tiny alien girl trembling beside him. With me, if you want it. Her eyes widened again, then welled with tears. I want, she whispered. Middle, the final confrontation. By dawn, Elias had a plan. He needed to reach Outpost Arison, a human settlement 3 hours away, but that meant crossing the ridge again. And he doubted the tribe had given up. He was right. As they approached the ravine, movement flickered between the trees. Elias swore, they're tracking us. Liri clutched his hand. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. Warriors emerged, fanning out. Their masks were painted with red ash now, rage colors. The elder stepped forward and slammed his spear into the ground. Offworld, return the cursed one. Liri whimpered. Elias stepped in front of her. No. The elder snarled. She brings death. She's a child. She's a curse, the elder roared. Elias raised his pulse knife. Then consider me cursed too. Warriors charged. Elias pushed Liri behind a rock. Stay down. The battle was chaos. Elias dodging, slashing, adrenaline drowning pain. He stunned one attacker, kicked another down the ravine, ducked a blow that would have cracked his skull. But he was outnumbered. A spear struck his leg. Elias stumbled. The elder approached, spear raised. Liri screamed, stop. Everyone froze. A pulse of light burst from her skin, bright, wild, uncontrolled. The ground trembled beneath them. The warriors staggered back, terrified. Elias stared in shock. Liri glowed, her eyes blazing gold. The elder collapsed to his knees. "'Tis the child of prophecy," he whispered. Liri blinked. What? You hold the gift, he stammered. We thought your lack of marks meant you were cursed, but you were born with a light. The warriors backed up, terrified. Elias stepped protectively toward her anyway. Whether she has powers or not, she's not going with you. The elder bowed his head. We were wrong. Liri trembled and hid behind Elias. The elder placed his spear on the ground in surrender. She belongs where she chooses. Elias wrapped an arm around the girl. She chooses to leave, he said. The tribe parted silently, allowing them through, ending a new beginning for both. By the time the human outpost came into view, Liri was riding on Elias's shoulders, small hands gripping his hair. Her laughter, quiet but real, echoed against the metallic walls of the settlement. Elias checked her in with medical staff, and when the nurses asked for a guardian signature, Liri grabbed his arm. Elias is my guardian, she said firmly. He blinked. Liri. She looked up at him with the full weight of her newfound courage. I choose you, she said. His throat tightened. He nodded. Then I'll stay. Days later, the local council officially granted him guardianship. Liri stayed close by his side, slowly growing stronger, learning to trust, learning to smile. One evening, as twin moons rose over the settlement, Liri curled beside him on a bench. You came when no one else did, she whispered. Does that make you my family? Elias wrapped an arm around her. It does now. Liri rested her head against him. Then I'm not cursed, she said softly. No, Elias said, looking out over the glowing forest. You're extraordinary. And for the first time in her life, she believed it.